For all film-related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
I'm too emotional to get too practical in life, I think. But yeah.
It's nice to be emotional, and we are starting the...
It's very important to be practical. I must say that I want to be a little more extra practical in life. But yeah.
So we are starting the interview on the right note, emotional. You made everyone very emotional with your, I would say, emotive performance as Manu in Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui. You know, I mean, honestly, Vaani, I messaged your team saying she was fantastic because I didn't know how to reach out to you. And I'm glad I'm sitting across to you. So congratulations.
Thank you. I cannot tell you, Puja, this makes me so happy. It's a very, very happy compliment to get, an overwhelming one. And I'm very happy that your friend cried while watching.
She bawled her eyes out. She was very, very taken in. And I'm sure there were many other, eyes that were wet in the theater because I watched it in the theater. And it was just amazing. So I actually, spoke to your director who said, firstly, hats off to Vaani for saying yes to this character. Because usually heroines come with that, ye meri image ke saath nahi jayega. He says, because I was a little worried too, but she just said yes. So I want to ask you that there was no jhijak, as they say, like, playing this character, it could go either way. What would it mean to me? So I want to ask you that.
No, the treatment of the character was very important to me. Of course, I loved the script when he emailed it to me and I read it and I was bowled over and I thought that I want to be part of this because when I'm reading as an audience, I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it and it's entertaining. But something like this that's never been tried before. Plus, I'm a cis girl who will have to then represent a different community altogether. There's a lot of responsibility you have to play this with. Your intentions could be right, but it still may offend a certain section of society, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to be disrespectful in a unknowing, unintentional way. So for me, the treatment of Maanvi was very important, and to my fortune, I had a director like Kapoor. And I'm not saying it just because now like people have loved the film and the character. From day one, I could afford to take that leap of faith and put all my faith and submit to him, is because I had that much respect for him and I loved his world of cinema. I saw how responsibly he has portrayed his characters in all his previous films. And yeah, there's so much dignity and soul that he brings, and he kind of, so I feel like it was such a good exchange of energy between a director and an actor, between me and him, and that gave me a lot of confidence to kind of he's one of the directors who gives you the confidence to have wings and fly with those wings. Yeah.
Wow. But as he also said that, you were not even once concerned about the image that Vaani Kapoor has, because I mean, the thing is, actors do come with a certain image, as you've also yourself said, ye kar sakti hai, ye glamorous kar sakti hai. You don't want to be labeled. I know that. Yeah. But somewhere that image thing that come in mind, like I'm taking a risk, that kind of.
But I think that's the beauty of being an artist, no? I mean, if you become complacent and you're in your comfort box and comfort zone, then you're not progressing and you're not exploring anything new about yourself. So then you're pretty much just delivering that much. And that is not exciting for me, at least as an individual, which is why I think I do very few films as well, because I'm trying to do things that can evolve and help me kind of discover something new about my journey in this industry. I'm also charting a very different course in this industry, and yeah, this was one of the, and instinctively, if something feels right, I don't think you should let it go, and this truly did feel very instinctively correct to me.
I totally agree with that. So I'm sure now with that you have erased that label that Vaani is so glamorous, she's so uber chic. You completely erased that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping.
Which I'm sure
don't get me wrong. I love the commercial cinema. I love commercial films. I love being a commercial heroine. I'm not going to shy away from saying that. But I want to just be able to do about any part, and be able to fit in just about any mold. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as you said, you do few films, but इस साल तो आपने पिछले साल 2 पिक्चरें कर दी यार.
Imagine, in the midst of a pandemic, which has never otherwise happened in my career. in my whole trajectory of my career. You see my filmography, the maximum are COVID times. Yeah.
Amazing. And also the fact, now let's speak about the movie, because, you recently had the designer who designed for Harna Sandhu. She is from the trans community. The very pretty lady, I don't remember her name, who won the beauty pageant. Dr. Trinetra, I remember her because she's strikingly pretty. But
no, the one who won the beauty pageant, Shruti Sitara.
Yeah, Shruti Sitara. I mean, very attractive women. And it's something they have fought for acceptance, and they have spoken about the mental issues that they have dealt with every day. People still regard you with that look like, hey, you are actually not what you are meant to be. But you have the medical science that has given you that opportunity. But to get into the mind space, because nowhere have you caricatured the community. And I think the vote of confidence came from Ghazal Dhaliwal herself,
Yes,
so
it meant a lot.
What was your process like? Yeah.
But that was my intention. Honestly, I think it's coming. You need to be honest to what you believe in, and to be able to have that conviction within yourself, to be able to convince others. I think if you lack that conviction and the right intent, then you should be scared and worried. I did my homework as much as I could. I did my research as much as I could. I came from a right place, from my heart, and then I submitted myself completely to a phenomenal director like Gattu. That's all that was in my hand. I did not know what the reaction and what the result is going to be. But I feel like everything right that I could have possibly done as an artist, I just didn't want to leave any stone unturned when it came to that. But I'm just happy that people kind of gave it so much love, and we got that much love back. The love that we gave and put in Maanvi and in the film, all of that came back and more. So it's just a very happy state of mind to know that people kind of also connected with with a certain soul and heart that one had put in Maanvi, and that's the biggest validation one can get as an actor. Yeah.
And so uninhibited, Vaani, so uninhibited. It was like you shed all inhibitions.
Yeah, that I did. I did. I think there are certain scenes that were a little nerve-wracking. But yeah, I think again I took that leap of faith, and I had a very he was I had such a correct team, be it my director, be it my co-actor. So you can take that leap of faith, when you have the right team, and then you feel less worried and you feel less scared because you're in the right hands. So yeah.
True. And which was the best compliment that you got?
There's so many. Like you said, Ghazal Dhaliwal. There's so many. There's so many people from the trans community themselves who texted me and said that they loved the film and they resonated, and they got, for them, I think the fact that they accepted Maanvi was my biggest compliment, my biggest achievement. And yeah, there are people who call me up saying that, listen, we cried, and I won't name. There was a journalist who interviewed me, who was also transitioning, who spoke to me, and I didn't know that the person has transitioned or is like in that whole process, and I wouldn't want to name, but that journalist really had welled up and kind of got very emotional about it, and spoke to me, and we were both having a discussion about it, and just I think it made my heart so full of love and happiness, and it was so overwhelming to know that I'm getting to meet these people in person, and they're telling me their honest truths, that how much love they felt for Maanvi. So for me, I think I don't know what else could I have asked for.
For me, the most emotional scene, as I told you, my friend cried, and I was really moved was when she gets hugged by her mom, when they finally, she's accepted for what she is, like nothing wrong with that. And also her whole demeanor with the guy. I have been through so much, it does not matter. I mean, whether you accept me or not. So for you to get into that headspace, mind space, did you speak to people? What was Vaani the girl? How was she connecting to Maanvi the girl?
Empathy is all one requires as individuals, as human beings, even in our day-to-day lives. Like if we can't empathize with someone, nobody, they weren't looking for sympathy. I don't think nobody, whoever I spoke to, whatever documentaries and shows and interviews that I went through, I never saw themselves victimizing, like becoming the victim. There's a lot of pride and strength and dignity to them. And rightfully so, there's nothing wrong, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, if God's been a little unkind, it gives, why should we kind of be even more unkind to anyone, and it comes from a place of oblivion or a lack of knowledge or understanding or education, because we as kids, school going kids, nobody talks about it, nobody is educated about it. These conversations never take place in colleges, in offices, and at home. I mean, it doesn't even strike anybody subliminally, that one must be having such difficult battles, and things that we take for granted could be the biggest battle in someone else's life. So I think it all stems from a place of empathy and just getting their headspace. And as actors, I think we need to have that. We need to be able to empathize and kind of see it from the right lens and see it from the right, and just connect to it as human beings, on a very human level. So I think if that happens, I mean, that was the intention. And yeah, luckily it did kind of, people did resonate with it.
Absolutely. You started a conversation, and now I think maybe hopefully going forward, we'll see many such narratives.
Yes, I'm hoping there are many, many more storylines that can come up where trans girls and trans boys get to play these parts, and not just be restricted to playing trans community parts, but also, play a cis girl's part or a cis het man's part. Why not?
Absolutely. And I followed your career from your debut film. And I remember how, you've openly spoken, like some did well, some didn't do well. And this, I think the film actually gave you a platform to showcase your aptitude as an actor, I would say, because you had a lot to perform here. It was entirely performance driven. Has anything now changed or will change going forward?
Yeah, there are definitely a lot more people now, I think, have kind of seen me from a very different point of view. I think I'm hoping now when, people come with films and they can give me something which is a lot more fleshed out and nicer and more, just more exciting, for me as an actor to also like kind of feel great about. I think, having said that, I'm not going to take away from the fact that the kind of films I've done till now have brought me to this place today. Chandigarh happened because Agattu loved me in a Shuddesi romance. He loved my performance in a Befikre, which is why he put me in it. Siddharth Anand put me in a film like War, which was one of the biggest, highest grossing film of the year, and I got to be part of that film because he loved me in other films. Then I got a Shamshera. So I think one film has led me to another film. That film led me to another film. So for me, I'm not going to take away from any of the films that I've been part of, because they all have played a very important role in my life. And I made those choices, and I'm very happy. But going forward, I can hope that more people can put their faith in me and kind of give me parts like how, today Agattu has put his faith in me, or a Karan Malhotra put his faith in me, or a Adi Chopra in Befikre, where he could have gone with just about any A-list actor. He auditioned me and was so fair to like cast who he thought like nailed the audition, or whoever got the audition right. And I'm just grateful for all these people.
Yeah. One thing that strikes me about you as we're speaking is with the performances you've named, you're very uninhibited on screen. You're just free. It's like the camera is on. So maybe Vaani is a shy girl. You come across as a very shy person. It just transforms into another energy.
I do actually. I think I lose and I let go very consciously. I let go of all my inhibitions because I feel more confident to express myself as a Shaira, as a Maanvi or a Naina from War, or Tara from Shuddesi. I feel more happy putting myself out there. But as me, I feel like I want to protect, and I'm a lot more guarded as an individual. And my way of kind of putting myself out there is through these parts that I play, you know. So you'll always have a part of Vaani in all these characters that I've been part of. Yeah.
Amazing. But what is that one thing about, as you said, they tend to label. What is it going forward you would want writers, filmmakers to, you know, when a heroine looks a certain way, but it's not just because she looks glamorous doesn't mean that acting nahi hogi isse because
Yeah.
they're glamorous hai. So what is it that you actually want changed going forward?
I think I have kind of, I have gathered that respect of an actor from people who never saw me as an actor. There are a lot of people who are like someone like a Manish Sharma or a Adi Chopra or a Karan Malhotra who love me in Shuddesi, or even a Gattu for that matter. They saw me as actors, which is why they gave me, you know, work. But there were very few people who believed in me. Very, very few people, and it's okay. I mean, they didn't know me. I mean, I've also, my exposure has also been this much, you know, in whatever time that I've been in the industry. I don't know anybody personally, and maybe my films kind of never gave them the confidence to cast me. But yeah, now I feel like there has been a shift, a positive shift, and I have kind of garnered a lot of respect as an actor.
Awesome. And I'm very happy for you. And after this, you're going to be Mrignani in a period drama. Totally different. What's that like? What's the vibe like? Yeah.
That is such a dream team. I'm so happy to be part of that team. I'm so happy. Like, I want to work with Ranbir in so many more films because he's such an amazing guy and he's such an amazing actor and he's so humble and nice, and there's a great energy on set with him, and he's just so talented. I love watching his films as an audience. Like, I truly do connect, you know, and amongst all my friends also, when we're talking, they all say that, but you know, like, he connects to you on a very deeper level as an audience actor relation. You do feel you know, you feel a lot more deeply connected to whatever that he does on screen. So I love Ranbir. I love Sanjay Dutt sir. I love Karan Malhotra. I love his Agnipath. I think I have seen Agnipath so many times. It's not funny. I can't even like count on my finger. It's one of my favorite films.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It's a period drama and it's coming out this year.
Wow, and we'll see you in a new avatar.
Yes, it's a never been done before avatar for me. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so looking forward to that.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.